Hi, this is Nick. This is a short video to go through some of the nutrition planning that I'm doing for a 3-day packrafting expedition up in Scotland in October. So I just wanted to run through some of the considerations that I have when I'm planning meals for a time out in the wilds, and show you some of the food that I've got planned. So there's about 6 considerations that I've got that help me decide what to take, and they are not. Sometimes they compete with each other. So there's always some payoffs between the food that I want to take, or the issues or challenges around that food. So first and foremost, getting enough calories in to keep me going for the 3 days out. Quite a lot of hard exercise. So aiming for about 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. So a good bit more than the sort of 2,500 that I'd usually aim for on a quiet day, on a rest day. So calories. Secondly, the weight and also the bulk of the food. So all of these considerations around packability. Don't want to have a super heavy bag, obviously. So dried foods where possible. Also not too bulky, so everything can fit in the bag, and ideally not easily damaged. Things might get squashed in, bags will get moved around. We'll try and be careful where possible, but we don't want food that's easily damaged. Another consideration around some of the macros, micronutrients. I'm very keen to kind of keep the protein intake regular and consistent during the day, so I'm aiming for around about 5 portions of 20 to 30 grams of protein throughout the meals, not all in one meal, because it won't be as absorbed, as useful like that. Other micronutrients, not such a worry in a really just 3 days out, but I will be taking some vitamin pills just to cover vitamin C and some range of other multivitamins. Fourth consideration is, where possible, to have some warm food. End of October in Scotland could well be pretty chilly, could be wet out on the raft, on the hikes and so on. So wherever possible, when we're stopping, get some warm food in me. Another major issue, again, probably manage on 3 days, but particularly for longer trips, getting that variety of food. And a variety of taste, maybe putting in some fresh foods, and things that I know that I'm going to like. So almost everything, I think everything that I'm bringing or planning to take is food that I've tried before, in the hills, in similar sorts of circumstances. And then final consideration is just around the ease of eating, the ease of cooking. So foods which are quick to cook, use minimal fuel, so there's a nod towards some dehydrated foods for that. And on the boat during the day, food that I can just have in a pocket, easily accessible, food that's quick, can give me a bit of energy, not needing a big faff to access it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't eat it on the day. So those are the considerations: calories, weight and bulk, protein, warm foods, variety and taste, and then the ease of cooking and eating. So then, just to run through some of the foods that I've got planned, and I think this pretty well covers everything I'll be taking. Let's break it into 4 different categories: snacks during the day on the boat, on hikes, a lunch during the day. Well, actually 5 categories: the snacks, the lunch, a kind of quick warm tea when I get in, and we've got the tent up, dinner, and then also breakfast. So those five categories. Snacks, mixing it between some oat biscuits, here, yummy, or a bit more savoury, oat cakes. Taking a bag of peanuts and cashews every day. probably get through like about 50 grams of a mix of these, really yummy with the salt and pepper on those cashews. Sometimes snacks during the day, also could be an extra, finish off the bag of these in the evening if there's any left. Flapjacks as well, these chia charge, really yummy and really easy to eat, and they've got, also got good protein content as well. So that is the snacks. Then for also during the day, lunches and snacks, a thermos of some warm tea, some fruit tea or some normal tea. Really easy to just, you even need to take the lid off, just push the top, and you can get a quick cup of that on the boat with minimal spillage or anything like that. Lunches during the day, both days working on wraps. Really like these kind of like the char grilled mission wraps. Generally with some hard cheese, it survives quite well over a few days. So we've got some Gruyere. Tomatoes, there'll be one to put in plastic pot to keep them so they don't squash, but pretty easy to eat. Put in the wrap. On one day I'll be taking an avocado. Just again after the first day that will be gone. Pretty heavy, can get bruised, but it gives you so much energy and it's so yummy that I find it worth it to take at least one of those. And then also sacrifice to some weight. A satsuma each day, but great in the lunches for some variety and some really nice, fresh taste of that. So if that's the lunches, getting back to the campsite at the end of the day, putting the tent up, trying to keep warm and keep the energy going. So a quick another fruit tea there. It's berry tea bags, which are very nice. And one of these, another chia charge, but this more of a really focused on protein. Gets 20 grams of protein in one of these bars, so straight away topping up those protein levels after the exercise during the day. And then into the evening meal, relying pretty much on dried food for the evening meal. So starting up with a cup of soup. I use 2 of these packs in one bowl, so a bit thicker. That's really nice. Got a bit of extra salt in there as well. Main meal, using these dehydrated meals from Fire Pot. So I've got one pasta bolognese and one dal, one lentils with rice and spinach, both of which I've had before. Really yummy, and followed to keep the high calorie intake going with some dessert, one rice pudding with strawberry and one custard apple crunch. So tried that before, pretty good as well. So that will be nice treat to have a dessert. Just a couple of considerations around the evening meals. I bring in some extra herbs and some salt and pepper to keep the flavour of the food if I like to. Insulated pouch to put these bags in as they're rehydrating, keep them as warm as possible. So that just sits in there, the lid's off, and it zips up, and that can rehydrate and keep warm if it's quite cold at camp. A long spoon, really useful for stirring that dehydrated food at the bottom of the pouch, making sure you get everything out. And I also, although you can save weight and eat from the pouches, I prefer to just bring one bowl and decant the food into here. I find it just easier and nicer to eat from a bowl rather than kind of scooping right down into the bag. So those are just a couple of thoughts around the evening meals. And then for breakfast, a bit of variety. First morning, I'll be doing some soaked oats overnight. So just some normal oats and then some added chia seeds. And in the same breakfast, also a couple of eggs. I'll probably cook these before, maybe one day, and then the other day keep them protected in this little egg box, which I find, touch wood, works well in the outdoors. Also for breakfast, some tea and coffee, just a normal tea bag. This Starbucks is my concession to not decent coffee, but it's super light and it's still semi okay. Some coffee, and then on the last morning of fading, any energy fading, I've got some posh dehydrated posh baked beans are called. So that looks great. Loads of calories, more protein. So I'll be looking forward to them on the last morning. And I think that is about the overview of food. There's as I say, a vitamin pill every day and a couple of extra top ups of vitamin C. Looking forward to it now. I'm hungry.